In this video, we're going to do a couple of examples of where you can apply a 3x3 system to a problem. So here's our first example. You need to find the quadratic function y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And the graph must pass through these points, 1, 4, 2, 1, and 3, 4. Now, the first thing you need to do is plug in each point, and that will give you your system. Watch. So again, first point is an x, second point is a y. So you're going to plug that in. So 4 equals a times 1 squared, and 1 squared is 1, so that would be 1 times a, plus b times 1, which would just be 1b, plus c, and notice there's no x to multiply that. So there's your first equation, a plus b plus c. So I'm going to write that over to the side. So a plus b plus c equals 4. There's my first equation. Now we're going to plug in the second xy and see what that gives me. So the y is 1. So 2 squared is 4. So that would be 4a plus 2 times b. So that'd be 2b plus c. So there's my second equation, 4a plus 2b plus c equals 1. And then plug in your third point, xy. So the y is going to be 4, and this time your x is going to be 3. So 3 squared is 9, so that's going to be 9a plus 3 times b, which would be 3b plus c. All right, so there is my system that I need to solve to figure out this problem. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. So please know, oh, whoops, I forgot my C. Let me go write my C down. So please know that you and the person sitting next to you might do this completely different. It does not matter. I do notice that all the C's are here. I'm just going to make that first equation all negative, because then I will have that difference in the signs that I need. So I am going to, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the first equation with the second equation. So I'm going to add 1 plus 2 the way they're written right now, with those negatives there. So negative a minus b minus c equals negative 4. And I'm going to add that to 4a plus 2b plus c, because that will make my c's go away, which I want. I want to eliminate my c's. So that would give me 3a plus b equals negative 3. So in my 2 by 2 that I need to solve, that would be my first equation, 3a plus b equals negative 3. All right, the next one, I'm going to take that first equation with the negatives, and I'm going to add that to the second equation. Oh, third equation, sorry, third one. So third one. So negative a minus b minus c equals negative 4. I'm going to add that to 9a plus 3b plus c equals positive 4. So add those two together, and I get 8a plus 2b, my c's go away, equals 0. Some people get freaked out if you get a 0. Don't freak out. A 0 is just like any other number, so just keep it just like you would anything else. All right, so there's my 2 by 2 that I need to solve. When solving this 2 by 2, if there was a negative 2 right here, my life would be perfect. So I'm going to take that first equation, I'm going to multiply it by negative 2. And then I'm going to rewrite my system. So the first equation is going to become negative 6a minus 2b equals positive 6. And the second equation I'm going to leave alone. And I'm going to add those together. And I get 2a equals 6. Fabuloso. So that means that a equals 3. So in my function, it's going to be y equals 3x squared. Okay, now let's go back, plug back in and solve for the b. And again, it doesn't matter which one you plug it into, this red one or this green one. Just choose whichever one you like. I think I'm going to go with the green one. So we're going to plug that in, and we're going to get 3 times 3, so that's 9, plus b equals negative 3. So subtract 9 from both sides, and I get b equals negative 12. So go back to my equation. Y equals 3x squared. The b is negative 12, so that's going to be minus 12x. And then to find the c, just take your a and your b, and plug them in wherever you would like to, whichever equation. I would probably just plug it back into this very first equation and go from there. So let me do that in green right here. So that would be a is 3, plus negative 12 is b, plus c equals 4. So 3 plus negative 12 is negative 9. So negative 9 plus c equals 4. Add 9 to both sides, and I get c equals 13. So my constant here will be plus 13. So there is the quadratic equation that passes through each of those 3 points. Very useful if you're trying to do any kind of like quadratic regression or anything like that in a statistics class or a business class. So just keeping in mind that these 3x3 systems can be useful. All right, here's a completely different application that you can use this for. These are very popular on standardized testing. So if you're going to take a exam to get into graduate school, there's this exam called the GRE. It's like the SAT, but it's for a graduate school. You see questions like this on the math section all the time. All right, so the sum of 3 numbers is 16. I don't know what these 3 numbers are. I'm going to call them X, Y, and Z. You could call them A, B, and C, whatever you want, but I'm going to take that first sentence and I'm going to write it in mathematics. So there is X plus Y, plus Z equals 16. So there is my first equation. Then I'm going to go to the second sentence. The sum of twice the first number, right? So we're going to add up a bunch of things. We're going to add up twice the first number plus 3 times the second number. So 3 times the second number and 4 times the third number. And add again 4 times the third number, and that is equal to 46. So again, I just took the sentence and translated it into math. And then the last one says the difference between, okay, so difference means subtraction, so I'm going to put a subtraction, between 5 times the first number, so 5 times x, and the second number, which was y, is equal to 31. Find the 3 numbers. So I have a system of 3 equations with 3 unknowns, which means I can find my solution. All right, so you notice in this last equation that is our 2 by 2, right? So that one is already there, so I'm going to do that. So I need to eliminate z in this first system. So let's see, if there was a negative 4 in front of that green z, my life would be perfect. So I'm going to take this whole equation right here, I'm going to multiply it by negative 4. So negative 4x minus 4y minus 4z equals negative 64. And I'm going to add that to that second equation in red, which is 2x plus 3y plus 4z equals 46. All right, so when I do that, the z will be eliminated, and that's what I want. So I get negative 2x minus y equals negative 18. Now notice they're all negatives, so that means they could also all be positives. So when I rewrite it, I'm going to write it as 2x plus y equals positive 18. Those are the same 2 equations. And I wrote it that way because I already knew that this y in the other equation was negative, so I wanted the y to be positive in this one. So again, you have to think about the big picture when you solve these. All right, so now that 2 by 2, I can just add it together and I can solve for the x. So 7x, 8 plus 13, 18 plus 3, sorry. I don't know where I got the 13 from. So 18 plus, that should be 31. Oh, geez, look at that. That should be a 31. I was like, 3, I didn't remember seeing a 3. It's because I didn't write it down correctly. So again, another mistake. Please make sure that you pay attention. Little mistakes like that can make your whole problem blow up. So 31, that sounds better. I was going, where was the 3? 31 plus 18 is 49. All right, so that would mean x has to be 7. So we now know that the first number is 7. Let's go find the second now. So the second, which is the y, and again, you can take that 7 and plug it into either one. You can plug it in, let's just plug it into the second one. So I'll do that in red. So 2x plus y equals 18. So 2 times 7 is 14. So 14 plus y equals 18, and that means y has to be 4. So the second number is 4, and now we need the third number. The third number is, we need to find the z. And again, you can plug that into either the first or the second. I'm going to plug it into the first one just because there was less stuff going on here. So we're going to start with that first one. So x is 7 plus y, which is 4, plus z equals 16. So 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 plus z is 16. So that means z has to be equal to 5. So the third is 5. So there are your three numbers, 7, 4, and 5. Again, very popular kind of like standardized test question is something like this. All right, so hopefully those applications will help you out in the future. And we will see you next time. So thanks for coming.